Hello, everybody. Here we are. This is lesson 2.3, order of operations with powers. So the order of operations part should be review, but with powers might be, a little bit of a reminder or introduction, and it does make it slightly more complicated than it was in grade 8, but you'll do great. So first, let's look at our glossary terms. So bed mass, highlight that. BEDMAS is an acronym that tells us what order to solve expressions in. So brackets, that's the B, then exponents, then division, then multiplication, then addition and subtraction. The division and multiplication kind of happen at the same time, as does addition and subtraction, but we'll get to that in a bit. So we solve questions that involve powers. Exactly, I think I missed a word here, exactly as we solve questions without powers. So we always use BEDMAS to tell us the order of operations. So make sure you folks are highlighting as we go or writing in the blanks. So the 4 steps to BEDMAS. If there are any brackets, solve what's inside them first. So if we've got, 2 plus 3 times 3, make sure that we do this part first. We get 5 then times 3, and we get 15. Next, if there are any exponents, simplify them. So what it means simplify, if we have 6 squared plus 4, we need to simplify this first. This will become 36 plus 4, and we get 40. Next, we simplify any division or multiplication from left to right. I always say it's like reading a book, okay, left to right. So if we have, 4 divided by 2 times 10, we don't want to go 2 times 10 first and then do 4 divided by 20. We want to do 4 divided by 2 first. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 times 10 is 20. So we go left to right. And finally, we simplify any addition or subtraction from left to right as well. So I have some examples. I will do them with you. So we have 3 to the power of 3, which I know 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, plus 2 to the power of 3, 2 times 2 times 2, which I know to be 8. 27 plus 8 is 35. Next, we have 3 minus 2 to the power of 3, which I know to be 8. 3 minus 8 is going to be negative 5. Now we have a slightly more complicated one. We have brackets within brackets. These square brackets are to show that there are brackets within it. And this is also showing that this entire thing, whatever we solve within here, is going to be to the power of 2. So everything that's solved inside first, and then that'll be our last step, will be to square whatever we solve inside here. So let's start by evaluating or simplifying this exponent. So we have negative 3 in brackets to the power of 3. So this is going to be negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3, which I know to be negative 27. And then we subtract 6. That's still all squared. Now we need to do the multiplication first before we do the subtraction. So let's do 2 times negative 27. 2 times, how do I do negative on this thing? Negative 27. Well, it's 54, but it should be negative 54. Because positive times the negative should be a negative. So we're going to have brackets, negative 54, subtract 6, and that's squared. Negative 54 subtract 6 is going to give us negative 60. Becomes more negative, and that's squared. And negative 60 squared, let me use my calculator. I don't exactly know how to do the negative, so I know it's going to be negative times a negative, so let's just do 60 times 60, 3,600. And since it's a negative times a negative, it is positive, so 3,600. I'll do the last one. Let's solve the top and then square it, and then solve the bottom and kind of deal with the equation or the fraction last. So 18 squared, let's do 18 times 18 equals 324 plus 5 to the power of 0. Remember, we learned last class, this is equal to 1. And this whole thing is squared over negative 5 to the power of 3. So that's negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. It's going to be negative 125. Next, let's add our top. 324 plus 1, we're going to get 325 to the power of 2 over negative 125. Next, let's do our 325 squared. 325 times 325 equals 105,625. 105,625. And that's all over negative 125. Our final step, let's simplify this or divide it. So let's go 105,625 divided by, okay, how do I do this? 125 negative? Okay, that looks right. Negative 845. All right, I will assign the textbook questions, and I'll be around to help. There we go.